My name's Sam and this is The Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today. We are on a new stamp set this week. We have the Rustic Centrepiece. Now it's only got 3 images on it and it's, I suppose it's an online exclusive. So it's ideal, I suppose, for Christmas and birthdays. So what I've done is, as my usual, I have stamped out the images so you get a better look at them. For some reason it seems to be clearer to me on a piece of paper than it is on on the stamp set, but you get a feel for it once you've stamped it out. So as I say, you've got 3 images. You've got like sunflowers, you've got some I can't think what they're called. Yeah, some of those. Anyway, I'm sure it'll come back to my brain. And then, of course, you've got a succulents. There we go. I knew it'd come back. You've got some succulents. And here we've got a Christmas scene. So you've got a reindeer, the Christmas tree, a candle and some holly. Right, so let's bring in the supplies of what we got. So this is the card we're going to create. I have used here, and again in a minute, the DSP from the Boho Vibes. Which is a new designer series paper which you can find in the annual catalogue. So let's bring in my supplies straight away. I have got, this is Daffodil Delight. So it measures 8 inches by 5 3/4, and I've scored it at the 4-inch mark, and now I can burnish with my bone folder. There we go. As I say, I have a piece of the Boho Vibes designer series paper. It's all very, well, I suppose, boho-y. Boho-y? Is that a word? Hey, it is now. So, so you've got all these lovely waves and curves of colour. In the colours, we've got Daffodil Delight, Mossy Meadow, Secret Sea, Cloud Cover. I think this is Tempted Tiger, and this looks like Cajun Craze. So I'm using all the colours that are in here for my card. I've got, apart from, she says, apart from a piece of early espresso. Now that measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. I have a piece of white, which is for inside. Now that measures 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. And I have this piece, which is going to be the focal piece. So it would be this piece here. Now that measures 2 inches and 1/8. Let me just double check. Yeah, so it's 2 inches and 1/8 by 4 inches and 1/8. Right, so it's quite a small piece, but we're going to do it. Now, if you saw my videos last week, you would have seen that I used the stamp set and die set Gallery Blooms, and this is one of the dies from there. This is the die that creates the framework. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your piece of designer series paper, work out how you want it, place it onto your die onto your paper, run it through the cut and emboss machine, and it will come back looking like this. And we're going to get rid of the first 2 pieces. Now you can obviously use those for other things, so don't bin them. You can always find some way for those, but we're going to focus on the largest frame. Okay, so that is what's going to go onto there, but we'll put that together once we have done this. So I'm going to use the succulents for today. I've got my early espresso, and I'm going to stamp up the picture or the image. I'm going to first of all stamp it onto my piece of white cardstock here. I know I've got it skew iffy. Let's see if I can do it this way. I'm trying to do it so you can actually see what I'm doing without trying to break my hands. So here we go. Pop that down, straight down, hold it for a couple of seconds and bring it straight up. There we go, perfect. Not going to clean this off. I'm going to take in my white piece of paper, Sorry, I nearly put it down. That's why I was laughing. And I'm just going to very quickly pop it there. So you've got like a two-tone version for the inside of the card. Now I can put it aside. So now we're going to colour it in. And I've got, let's have a look and see what we've got. We've got a light mossy meadow. I have got dark and light cloud cover. And I've also got a light Cajun craze to colour this all in. So I'm just going to show you briefly, because as usual, I have already got one prepared. So I'm going to use my wood. It's going to be my Cajun craze. My succulents are going to be in the cloud cover. And I'm just going to add the dark section and then go over it all with the light pen, or the light shade of the cloud cover. And that will hopefully give the image a little bit of two-tone. The image is quite small, so you're not going to get a lot of two-tone in there. And then I'm going to use the light mossy meadow for the trunk of the flowers. There we go, like so. And just go up there, and then you can just add the colour. So once you've coloured it all in, it will look like that. Now this stamp set is sorry about that, my computer's just decided to reboot itself. I have no idea why, it just decided. So this stamp set's, and as I say, only 3 images, and there are no sentiments with it. So dig deep into your stock and see what you have got. I have grabbed a happy birthday from a very old stamp set. I can't even remember what it was. Day to Remember, I think it's called. It dates back to very early scrapbooking. But it had this beautiful happy birthday in it, so I'm just going to add that to here. There we go, happy birthday. And now we can put the card together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop the inside layer in. Got myself my glue. It's been sitting upside down, so fingers crossed it should come rushing out. No, come on. Oh, there we go. Don't know why. I think it's just camera shy, because it works fine when I don't have the camera on. The minute I put the camera on, it runs back up into the bottle. Definitely camera shy glue. Okay, so the next thing to do is to add my early espresso. So again, I'm going to add that to the back. The glue. Straight down. Like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add glue to the inside of, just by the out. If we start that again, I'm going to add glue just to the edging, the inside edging of my frame, because this is slightly smaller, not by much, but slightly smaller than the 3 3/4 by 5.5 brown thing. Board mat. Oh dear, I hope the rest of the week isn't going to be like this. Okay, so I'm going to stick that down, give it a little wriggle so it's happy with it in place, and there we are. So you've got this nice little brown border around here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in the middle like so. Now if I show you this one, there is no border on this one, and the whole doesn't have a border because it's a bigger picture. So because it's a bigger image, I wanted to use the whole space, and I've obviously got the happy birthday down there, which obviously you can do. So if you were going to use that image, the sunflowers, or another image that was bigger, then that's what you can do. But with this one, I've gone slightly smaller so that I get that nice little border around the edge, around this card like so. So again, I'm just going to use my glue. So go all the way down like so, and then that will pop in the middle, Give it a little wriggle so that it is as roughly even on all four sides as possible. And that really is today's card. Very quick, very simple, very effective. Perfect for a Monday. So thank you ever so much for joining me today. I will be back on Wednesday, so do join me then if you're free for our next version of this, or of a card for this stamp set. So thanks ever so much, everybody, and take care. Bye.